Gamers, hello, hello. Another chicanery masterclass inbound, perhaps, maybe? Mario Kart World is a terrible game, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. By Prestige. Now, firstly, using the Joker 2019 line when it comes to Mario Kart World is extremely laughable. Hating on this game is easily one of the most popular things to do on the internet. If I wanted an easy 20k bomb of a video, I'd just make that. So you pretending it's not is crazy. I don't know who you were pretending for. But the reason I've taken interest in this video chat, the title has changed. It never used to be this. Now, I can't prove it, but I know when this video was submitted to my Discord, the title was, as somebody said in my chat, an indie dev's opinion on Mario Kart World. He changed it to, like, really max out on the grift. I'm like, oh, shit, you really want those views, yeah? 29 bomb as well? You got a 29 bomb on a 4K channel? I bet you're loving life, innit? I bet you're loving it. He's licking his lips, gamers. He's like... He's licking his lips, gamers. Let's see if his points were salient or if his points were unsalient. Let's have a look.
So my friend brought his Switch 2 when he came over last weekend, and I got to play Mario Kart World for about 2 hours. This video is my assessment of the game after having experienced that, along with watching various YouTubers play the game both casually and competitively.
There's no way. Hang on. There's the part where he says psych. Hang on. Hold on. This is the part where you say psych, right, Prestige?
No, I didn't buy this game. I haven't bought a Switch 2, and I probably never will because Nintendo has demonstrated a pattern of souring games with updates after they've released. But
oh my god. Can someone pick up their man? Why did you make this video? No, seriously, why would you waste the collective internet's time with this dog shit video? 2 hours? And you haven't labeled it a first impressions or anything? You just watched a bunch of fucking YouTube to form an opinion on a video game? Imagine games, imagine. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna review Tron Ares. I haven't watched that. I watched like 20 minutes of it, and then I watched Red Letter Media. And then I watched Red Letter Media Gamers. Now, just to clarify, he did say but. I'm gonna be honest, there is no but, no matter how voluptuous and round and gorgeous that can save him from this situation. I don't think you can make a title this crazy while only playing a game for 2 hours. If you're asking me personally, I don't think you can do that. I guess you have 23 minutes of runtime to save it. So let's continue.
Will, because Nintendo has demonstrated a pattern of souring games with updates after they've released. But despite my being openly critical of the Switch 2, my friend and I are still able to get along just fine, so I expect a similar level of decorum in the comments of this video. Also...
This fucking loser. Holy shit. Me and my friend get along fine. So surely me and the internet should get along fine then. Now granted, me calling him a loser right after it, that's definitely a bit mean. I'll dial it back a little. I don't know, you saying 2 hours, you preaching a bit of 9/11 was bad. You've definitely not endeared yourself to me, Mr. Prestige, but let's see if you can win me back.
So before we get started, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'm aiming
no.
for 5K by the end of the month, but that
no, don't care.
Ado, my friend's player 1 and I'm player 2.
Fries in the bag.
Mario Kart World is no masterpiece. It's not great, and it's debatably not even good. My expectations have been pretty low ever since the Switch 2 was revealed, and having since played the game, it really feels like it's doing the bare minimum.
No, I think you're just wrong. I don't think you've played it enough. I genuinely don't think you've played it enough to make that assessment. Because if you're asking me, the gameplay changes they've made have been phenomenal. It's just one of the things that, I think the main thing everyone hates about Mario Kart World, they've like become this jack of all trades, master of none. I think that's the generally accepted stance on Mario Kart World. That when it's good, it's good. It's just when it's bad, it's not so good. Because most video games in the modern day take one gimmick, take one mechanic, and refine it to its nth degree, right? That's what they do, right? But Mario Kart World kind of does like a bunch of things really good, and you're like, oh, sorry, you're wall grinding parkour? Do you want to like double down on that? Oh no, what about a 3-1? Oh, intermissions, like I like that bit. Do you want to like refine that a bit? Ooh, intermission. It's like, okay, Mario Kart World, okay. Despite the most generic statements anyone would say about a game you claim not to like, it's fucking what this guy gets to be an indie dev? And this guy gets to be an indie dev, yeah? What a sick joke.
And I wasn't expecting the game to exceed what Mario Kart 8 Deluxe accomplished in terms of content, but I at least wanted to see how it stacked up against base Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U before it received DLC.
This game blows 8 base game out the fucking water. 100%. You're joking. It's not. I would look you in the eye and say, it's not a contest. Base 8, not a contest.
I also want to make it clear that I didn't just want to complain about this game, but the omissions and removals that this game has already dragged the game down, and when compounded with the game's price point, I found that there's no other way to talk about this game in good faith. And to those of you who want to
hang on, I'll let him finish
this game by saying you can just get the bundle, not only is that bundle only available for a limited time, but I prefer to buy my games physical, which isn't an unreasonable request no matter how hard the default profile pictures cry about it.
Fuck my life. Holy shit. Fucking people online final boss? This man gets to be an indie dev? What a sick joke. What I will say though, is I cannot, in good faith, agree with your point about not approaching this game in good faith. I think regardless of how solved a debate on a topic is, you should always strive to approach it in good faith. And even if Mario Kart World, even if you could make the argument that it hasn't earned that, I think you as a critic ought to. I know that, like, for example, it's the reason why, for example, when I called you a loser, I dialed it back. I'm like, oh, do you know what? Maybe I was a bit too much. You haven't earned me calling you a loser yet. I still don't regret my decision to say it, because it definitely comes across as loser behavior. But I'm willing to, you know, fair. Let me give you some time. Do you know what I mean? Let me give you some time. But if you're not willing to approach Mario Kart World in good faith, what was the point of you even making this video? That's what I would ask you. What was the point of you even making this video? Like, you made this to change hearts and minds about this video game, did you not? Why would you bother making this video then if that was the case?
I want to sum up this game in as few words as possible. I'd say ROM hack. Because this doesn't feel so much like a new game as it does a heavily modified version of Mario Kart 8.
You're just, this guy has not played it enough. So that's a crazy statement to say. Again, oh my god, gamers. Oh my, you know what, Prestige. Guys, can we give a round of applause? Guys, give a round of applause to Prestige. Someone clip this and ship this. When I eventually make my video, my dream video one day of no one knows what the fuck a sequel is anymore, this is another example I can use. This is Exhibit C. I think we've seen like 3 examples in my time of doing live streaming reacts. We've seen it, gamers. We've seen so many people say a sequel should have been... Do you know what I mean? It's happened, gamers. It's happened. It's happened again. It's happened again. Sequel should have been update. It's happened again. It's happened again, gamers. It's happened again. Because if you're asking me, no, this is a sequel. They took the Mario Kart formula and flipped it. I want to say on its head, but they flipped it like, you know, at least like 100 degrees to the side, you know? It's a bit of an obtuse angle. It's not a cute angle, I would say. They flipped it decent about, you know? Like 100 degrees or so. Wall grinding parkour, the rail stuff, the free roam, knockout tour. They flipped it a tad. They went, whoa, oh, you know? They definitely did that, you know? So to you say like ROM hack is like insane. No, I'm sorry, you're crazy.
The presentation first and foremost is hardly an upgrade when compared to a game released in 2014, and even then, the art style's only been incrementally changed from 8 Deluxe. A significant change in art direction isn't a tall ask either, as Mario Kart Arcade GP DX looks extremely different from 8. In fact, it actually predates 8 by almost a year, releasing in 2013, and all things considered, it's aged fairly well. So right off the bat, the lack of ambition here doesn't scream next gen or even new entry. The new character models are about what I expected.
I think we could confirm Prestige doesn't have eyes. Guys, I don't think this guy has eyes, bro. Like, I'll be real with you. He's a... Guys, I'm gonna say it, chat. I'm gonna say it with a hard R. I'm gonna say it with a hard R. This guy's a clanker. He's not like us gamers. He's not like us. This guy doesn't have eyes. If you're looking at this and telling me it's similar to Mario Kart World, you're crazy. Now, what I will say is I agree in the sense that the jump from 7 to 8, or if we're doing home console versions, Wii to 8, this is definitely not as big from like 8 to World is not as big as like Wii to 8, if that makes sense, or 7 to 8. Definitely not, 100% not. The jump from 7 to 8 or Wii to 8, if we're doing home console games, was like phenomenal. Like, I remember the first time I laid eyes on Mario Kart, I'm like, holy shit, this is what Mario Kart looks like now? That's insane. I would say the jump from 8 to World, I love the art style change, and I love how like everything is like so much more bouncier. I love how much bouncier everything is in this game. But yeah, it definitely didn't like shock me as much as like the jump from 7/Wii to 8 than it did, like, you know what I mean? 100%. But there's a difference. I think to say it doesn't look different is like insane. I think that's an insane take, and I think it just goes to show that you're approaching this in bad faith, to which I'll once again reiterate, why did you make this video? Imagine a reviewer of a massive 100-hour JRPG with lots of content like Persona 5 saying it sucks based on the first 15 minutes. That's this video. Terrible. Actually fucking terrible. AI generated indie Oh my god, was it Chat Indie T? Is that what this was made by?
Did Donkey Kong Stunt Double finally got the role, and despite some random enemy from Mario Galaxy 2 having one, Furukawa's Nintendo still hasn't figured out fur shaders yet, and all those Wonder Flowers have really been taking their toll on Bowser. He looks like the cursed Mario Kart 64 figure they used in Robot Chicken. You know the one. I'd say that all the characters...
Do we say the line, gamers? Do we say the line? I don't know. God, I'm sorry. I just want to clarify, Prestige. There's some guy in my chat that just types the word Sonic a lot, and even he mustered up he said nice one. You got nice one by Pendula. That's like the biggest burn I've ever seen in my chat. Just like saying nice one. I'm sorry. If someone ever said like nice one to me, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gone. Just get rid of me, bro. Just get rid of me. Just get rid of me. Just get rid of me. It's not even like go to bed. It's not even like fuck you, bro. It's nice one. Yeah, nice one, mate.
Characters are animated pretty well if they were all animated, but they're not all animated for some reason. Why aren't the Sidestepper and Snowman animated? Those big meaty claws never get anywhere close to the steering wheel, and even if you want to maintain the character's silhouette while driving, why don't they at least lean into the turn? And I'm not even gonna ask why the snow...
oh my god, who the hell cares? Who the hell? Fuck my life.
Because for the sake of consistency, despite some snowmen having at least one arm in the Mario series, those are actually known as Mr. Blizzard, and these are actually two separate characters. But that begs the question, why didn't you just add the snowman with an arm? Alright, let's move the goalpost even further and say that they wanted to use the Mario Kart snowman specifically. Okay? Why isn't his face animated? But while some characters are animated...
Guys, this is the kind of shit you be talking about when you've only played a game for 2 hours. This is the kind of shit you be talking about. Oh my god, who the hell cares? Oh, do you know what this is? Oh my god, I'm so glad you Mario Karters with a hard R have your version of Pokemon Discourse. This is genuinely, videos like this, chat, are my big issue with Pokemon Discourse. Because, like, if you told me, hey, Moresty, I know you love modern day Pokemon. Like, yeah, I think Pokemon, I would say I love it. I very much enjoy modern day Pokemon. If someone wants to criticize modern day Pokemon, what to say? Yeah, the graphical fidelity isn't as good. The whole Dexter thing wasn't as good as it could be. You know, again, biggest franchise, definitely a bit more fidelity. I think the Terra Leaks confirmed that PLZ only had a budget of 13 million. For a franchise in the billions, they definitely should be funding more. Maybe you could get like other studios to do to accompany, like even Monolith, you could probably get to help them out. I don't know, there's definitely things you could do. So then when someone goes, but mostly the buildings look like 2D textures, mostly the buildings. I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm not looking at buildings all day when I play PLZA. I'm looking at the fun gameplay loop of I catch stuff in the day and I battle people at night. I think that's just a very fun gameplay loop. So if you're going to criticize Pokemon, I think you should criticize the big things, you know? You criticize like the gameplay loop, the modern day like philosophy of game design, because I think there could genuinely be an interesting conversation around Pokemon with, should a game like Pokemon, where a lot of the storytelling is these friends you make along the way, be emphasizing the story as much as it should? I think that's a very interesting conversation. Does any PokeTuber have it? Fucking no. Or do they just want to say, more graphics, more buildings? And it's a genuinely boring conversation. You're right, but it's also really, really boring. That's how I feel about you. The Snowman is a correct assessment to make. Maybe it should be mine-made. Maybe they should have done Mr. Blizzard. But then again, you bump into the issue of, oh my god, who the fuck cares? That's the issue. Do you see what I mean? No one gives a shit about this. No one cares. Like, literally no one cares. Everyone saw this part of the video and went, oh my god, who the hell cares? That's the issue. That's literally the issue, honestly. It's like writing an essay in school but having absolutely nothing to say, so you just say random shit. Literally, that's what this is. That's literally what this is so far. So none of these Mario Kart 1 videos are so pedantic. Like, what do you think about the game? Yeah, exactly. What do you think about the game? If someone made a critique of Pokemon Legends ZA and said they hated the game, I'm like, okay, let me watch the video. If the person mentions like the building textures like 2 seconds in, I don't give a shit. I'm sorry, I don't care. I really like the gameplay loop of catching stuff in the day, fighting battles at night. Is there something fun? Look, run floor right now. When you're catching a Pokemon and the day changes, it kind of resets the interaction, which is really fucking annoying. I hate that shit. Why does it work like that? You could talk about that, for example. That's a good point to make. But instead, these Pokemon YouTubers say, but the trees, yeah, the buildings, you see that? It's boring. That's what you're doing. It's boring. If someone doesn't animate the low harvest body, so his argument is invalid. And even then he's wrong.
Some animation quirks that I'm not a huge fan of are the drift, which is way over animated, and I'll get into later. But also, the golden mushroom animation, why does this look like the...
Hang on. Deadass asked Google AI, what is a big graphical upgrade from AI? And he said it's a significant upgrade. So even the clankers know? God damn. Even the clankers are in, bro. Even the clankers are in. God damn.
Octarian damage animation from Splatoon. But also, the golden mushroom animation. Why does this look like the Octarian damage animation from Splatoon? I know it's a me thing, but that's all I can think of when I see this. I don't have much to say about
let me see what did this text say?
performance because I'm Splatoon. I know it's a me.
Not bad. It's just weird the animation to be tired of the action of boosting. No, I think it's a very good animation. I think even in my item ranking, I pointed out that the sound design. I don't think I pointed out the animation, but I pointed out that the sound design works. I probably should have pointed out the animation as well. But yeah, the bouncing animation and the sound design of the sound of the golden mushroom getting like higher pitch and higher pitch and higher pitch is an excellent straight up cue to the player that the mushroom's about to run out. You know what I mean? I quite like that. It kind of emphasizes that you're using the mushroom, and the sound indicates the urgency of you using it at the right time. I love it. I think it's a fantastic addition to the series, and I don't think I would go back to a time where I didn't have that. But yeah, definitely a whole lot of I love my nothing burger. Pokemon has some real issues, but the smallest issues, like the buildings, are a tree where they write it's boring. You're never convincing. You're not convincing someone like me who loves modern Pokemon that the games are bad because of my graphics. I'm like, I know. I have eyes. I can see the graphics are not that good. Talk about the gameplay.
Me thing, but that's all I can think of when I see this. I don't have much to say about performance because I'm unable to tell the difference between 60 and 120 FPS, and honestly, I don't really care.
Interesting. Something that would affect gameplay is something you don't care about. Wow! Interesting, Prestige. Very, very interesting that you... Right? Ooh, gamers, that's a very interesting point there.
Stable 60 FPS, or at least
I'm
feels
noticing.
like 60, then you won't be hearing any complaints from me, and overall my experience was pretty smooth. I know that people are accusing Nintendo of falsely advertising 120 FPS, but if you go into 4-player split screen, you'll actually get to see 120 FPS in action. See? 30, 60, 90, 120. 30 frames per player. Double Dash is 4.
I'm gonna hit you with the Pendulum X. Nice one. Yeah, nice one, bro. Nice one.
One detail that I'm mixed on is how debris builds up on the bottom of your vehicle depending on the terrain, which is objectively more realistic, but the neat freak in me absolutely despises this.
Holy shit. Can someone give this guy... Guys, someone needs to give this guy his Profen. This guy ibuprofen. Someone get his Profen. Someone give this guy his Profen.
And I don't like it here. But one objective improvement that I appreciate is that fabrics like Luigi's cap actually absorb moisture instead of repelling it like plastic, and it only took them 12 years. The UI is a little on the ugly side, but that's up to individual taste.
No, I'm a big fan of the UI, but he said it's individual taste, okay.
But what's not up to individual taste is this character select screen. You knew this was coming.
Oh, okay, he's correct on that. Don't give him some Profen. He be Profen all night.
What is this character select screen?
It is pretty shit.
I could complain about the full body portraits taking up too much space and costumes not being consolidated into single character slots.
Nah, it's
but
bad.
The real sin here is that every player gets their own scrolling menu instead of it being shared between all players.
Jesus Christ, kill me. Fucking kill me, bro. You're not gonna take the easy alley-oop, the easy layup, and you're instead gonna go for the half-court shot. Brother, you ain't Kobe, bro. You ain't Kobe. Just take the layup. Just take the layup, man. How do you fumble this, gamers? This is a fumble crumble. This is actually a fumble crumble in real time.
Before we get into actual gameplay, I want to touch on the soundtrack. I wouldn't consider myself a professional musician.
Okay, you better tread lightly here. Because there's people who are saying this is an $80 soundtrack, and I don't disagree. You better be careful, brother.
But I'll try to articulate what I'm trying to say as best I can using what terminology I do know. Regarding the remixes, the compositions are great and the instrumentation is good for the most part.
I agree.
But given that I recognize every single track that plays, I constantly found myself asking questions like, why is Battle Rock Galaxy playing in the desert? Why is Vanilla Lake playing on the beach? Why is Gusty Garden Galaxy playing in Bowser's Castle? It makes the game feel less like a full game, but rather a separate mode that's part of a bigger game. And getting into the new songs, hot take, this might be one of the least hummable soundtracks in the series.
Yeah, kill him. Yeah, but mods. Chuck hammers them. Chuck hammers them. Chuck hammers them, gamers. Chuck hammers them. Game gone. Gay. That's unbelievable. Now the jukebox thing, I can understand how to be jarring. What I would say to you is, you only played 2 hours, else skippity toilet. But then when he says, oh, the base game music is shit, I'm just like, brother, I can't hear you. I'm sorry. I can't hear you over the sound. gamers. Here comes the bit. Are you ready? Are you ready? Hang on. Lay on me. Ba-da-ba-ba. That's just one track, bro. This whole soundtrack is fucking phenomenal. You're joking. Actual, he's on crack, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. This shit, like, bearing in mind, I think, like, Sonic soundtracks are, like, some of the pinnacle of video game music. I think Mario, for the most part, has not been close overall. But, like, that Mario Kart World was just like, nah, mate. Nah, I'm sorry. Like, step aside, Sonic. You kind of profin. You kind of profin, I'm not gonna lie. I ain't Mario Kart World was cooking this shit. Hey, I'm telling you, bro. Listen, I know you're a Sonic guy. I'm telling you, Mario Kart World, they were cooking, I'm telling you. If I was to do my best OSTs ever, Mario Kart World, and I'm just talking about the base game. I'm not even including the jukebox. Base game would be like top 20 game soundtracks I've ever heard in my life. That's the base game, chat. When you put the jukebox in, holy shit, man. This is top 5. If I'm playing just one more right now, this is the one that shocked me the most. This is the one where I'm like, okay, the original was good, but this one is like, oh my lord, bro, this is fucking heat, man. I'm sorry. Bone Dry Dunes is already amazing, but like, this one is fucking crazy, bro. This is the one that made me go, oh my god, bro. Ba-da-da. And then it switches up. And then boom. Bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Fucking hell, bruv. Oh, Ghost Fight, they were just having fun. They're just having Oh, hell yeah. We're crunking it down, bro. And then Bowie Bass hits you with the fucking, and then Bowie, that one part of Bowie Bass gamers. Hang on, where is it? The ending bit of this, hang on, where is it? Hang on, wait for it again, is it? Bowie Bass in your face, it is so great, I love it so much. Yeah, remember, guys, this is the soundtrack he's saying is shit, by the way. Just remember, guys, just remember. This is what he's saying, Gim. This is what he be saying.
This might be one of the least hummable soundtracks in the series, which I know is a weird complaint, but it's a problem that this game has that no other game in this series has.
Nah, he's just fucking wrong, bro. You're wrong. Not only are you wrong, you're the worst type of wrong. You're confidently wrong. This soundtrack is phenomenal, broski. I'm telling you.
For the new tracks,
it's very, very hummable. Okay, it's very, very hummable. It's very hummable, folks. Very hummable. You're wrong.
I always knew that Mario's soundtrack always took inspiration from T-Square, with
Crown City, yeah, crazy.
Mario Kart 8 sounding the most similar, but Mario Kart World straight up is T-Square. Give Little League Star a listen and it sounds like an unused title theme or something. Not playing it here because of copyright, but even T-Square has that hummable quality to it. And I knew
So you don't want to play a thing that could make your point more salient because of interesting. Interesting, Mr. Prestige. So you're going to be able to give it 2 hours and you really wanted to make sure this bit was monetizable, huh? You made plagiarism accusations and you didn't want to make sure that you were right on the money with that one. Really? Because if I'm making, all I'm saying is if I'm making allegations like that, I'm like, could you make like maybe an unlisted video, like in the description for us to compare and contrast? Because that's what I would do. Like, let's say, for example, I was like, okay, but like, I worked on, it's a 2-hour-long video. I'm not risking the whole of the money just for one little bit. I would like include an unlisted video in the description where it shows the part I'm talking about, just so the viewer has the easiest way to be able to compare and contrast it to. Interesting, Prestige. Interesting. It's crazy that the soundtrack is mostly remixes of some of the most recognizable and therefore harmonious melodies in VGM history. Diabolical. Diabolical doesn't even begin to describe it.
the term I'm referring to is called a leitmotif, and the difficulty with humming Mario Kart World's music comes down to its often complex melodic contour. Though if someone knows of a more concise term to denote a hummable song versus one that isn't easy to hum, feel free to comment that down below. Whoever's playing this synth in Mario Kart World is going completely off the rails. You can hear the passion going into their performance, but friend, time and place. This is a casual kart racer, not 1999.
Yeah, okay, yeah, get this guy. Yeah, get this guy. Mods. Yeah, we need to get this guy. I'm just throw hammers at this guy. Hey guys, can I call the Hammer Bros? Who's got the Hammer Bros? Let's get the Hammer Bros. We just start chucking some hammers. We're gonna start chucking some hammers at this guy. We need to get this guy off the field. We need to get some guy off the field before the Hammer Bros come after him.
I'm not saying the music is bad because it's not. I'm also not implying that it's worse because it's different. I mean, as a saxophone player, Crown City looks like a great time. But catchy and easily hummable music has been a staple of the franchise, and its absence here will hurt the game's memorability in the long run.
No, in the worst place, it's not even wrong. I would love for you to give me examples. But you're not gonna, because you're boring and else skibbity toilet. That's what I would have loved. I would love you to give me examples of like, okay, how hummable. You could have gone through the whole soundtrack. You could have like really made a good case for yourself here. But no, you're just boring. You're boring developing indie games that no one will buy. Because you suck. If your indie game making skills as good as your video making skills, brother, listen, if you hit me up in my business email, I'd click bin very quickly.
Why the harmonica on Peach Stadium? The grandiose introduction, which perfectly encapsulates the mood of regality mixed with the professional sports broadcast, peters out into this pathetic little harmonica with a bass line that sounds 10 decibels too low. This song was practically begging for an overdrive to take over the main melody. What happened here? And Rainbow Road?
I personally think it's fine. I think it represents, it's the track that's in the middle of the entire island. And obviously the title theme and like the theme of the first stage of the game was harmonicas. And I think in the interview they said that harmonica represents like the freedom that Mario Kart World represents over like the sleekness of Mario Kart 8. So I think having Peach Stadium feature this instrument actually works perfectly for me. So is this another case of Video Man sucks and is boring? I think it's another case of Video Man sucks and is boring, gamers.
Oh boy. I know I'm gonna get destroyed for this one, but...
Oh my, he does the thing! He does the thing, gamers! Oh no, I'm gonna get destroyed, oh no! I'm gonna get got for this, oh the people, oh hell no! Oh hell no, bro, hell no! They're gonna come for me! They be coming for me, gamers, they be coming for me! Who's coming for you, Prestige? Look, they're right, they're here, they're everywhere! Who are you talking about? I don't know, they're here! People online... You already know the emo gamers. It has an emo in the chat. You already know what it is.
Rainbow Road sounds like DS Rainbow Road.
No.
If it were finished by AI. Not that it was, but I can hear the melody trying so hard not to step on DS.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the whole chat and myself a favor. I'm just gonna randomly jump ahead a bit because like you're boring the shit out of me, broski.
Every Sonic and Crash racing game, Diddy Kong Racing, and their portable counterparts, Power Drift, Daytona USA, Jak X, Mega Man Battle and Chase, F-Zero GX, Stunt Race FX, Bomberman Fantasy Race, Pac-Man World Rally, Kirby Air Ride, Lego Racers, Mickey Speedway USA, Little Big Planet Karting, My Sims Racing, both versions, Toy Story Racer, Garfield Kart, all of them, Smurfs Racing, Smurf Kart, Action Girls Racing, Chocobo GP, and a handful handful of Nickelodeon kart racers and probably dozens more if you count racing mini games like the ones in Super Monkey Ball or Tai 2, and don't even get me started on mobile and flash games. And those are just the ones I liked. I have no standards. I could go on and on and on and on. But I want to make it clear that I'm more than willing to give a game's controls a fair shot, even if they're unwieldy or unconventional.
Oh no. So all of that was to say that this game's controls suck? Hang on. Hang on, gamers, hang on.
Mario Kart World missed the mark in ways that it really shouldn't. I'm not a fan of how turning feels like you're merely suggesting the direction the vehicle will go rather than properly steering it.
I'm just confused. What is he talking about?
Feels like I'm controlling an RC car that's low on batteries. In fact, it felt like I was sending stick inputs to a motion control device that would then steer my vehicle a quarter of a second later. It was rough. The most notable difference, however, is the exaggerated drifting animation, which hurts the game feel. I don't know who on the design team decided that every time you try to drift you have to do such a slow and splatty drift animation, and the brakes are virtually non-functional. I don't know what happened here.
I don't know what to say, brother. I think he needs to be profen. Brother needs his ibuprofen. I just hit my head on the chair at work and I'm listening to this video. Guess which one made my head hurt more? You're killing my audience prestige. I'm gonna have like half the viewer count tomorrow.
Driving too slow with the speed boost from mushrooms and dash panels offering.
Yeah, I think we can call that. I think we can call that a mastery malnourishment, can't we, Chip? I think we can call that an ability inability. I think that's what we can refer to this to.
Little sense of exhilaration can be found in the game. The water controls are absurdly stiff, giving Diddy a run for his money, and you have about as much influence over the new glider as you do an actual kite. We also need to collect.
That's because you only played it for 2 hours. If you played it for more, you would know that tricking to the left or right gives you more influence over the gliding controls than moving left and right. That's because you've only played it for 2 hours. You're basing your opinion on an entire video game off of 2 hours of gameplay. No one's buying your indie games. That's all I'm saying. I think if someone should apply his philosophies to the games if he's in fact an indie developer, I think it should. All I'm saying is that if I see an indie game and I see your name on it, I don't know, brother. I know. I be looking at you kind of funny.
I apologize to Sega for criticizing Sonic Adventure's physics because 27 years later, wall riding is hardly more intuitive than what was featured on the Dreamcast in 1998. Still feeling rather clunky and inconsistent. But if you want,
that's a skill issue. I think we can say the phrase, guys. That is 100% a skill issue. That's a skill issue, bro. So you suck at the video game. You suck at a game made for babies. You suck at a video game that my nephew played without smart steering, and he's 5 years old. That's how bad we're talking here.
Tell me to get good at Mario Kart World's wall riding physics, then you legally forfeit your right to complain about Sonic Adventure's physics.
No, I don't. I can say you're shit at both of them. That's the best part, Prestige. I do not subscribe to your bullshit dichotomy that you made up. You're both shit at Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure's physics are shit, and this game's physics are better. That's not how it works. That's a double skill issue. That's a double issue.
But controls aren't the only thing that make up a Mario Kart game. And while I'm sure these controls could work in some settings, the rest of this game's design choices are at constant odds with the control changes.
What makes you say that?
And one massive change in this game is the hit stun. Hit stun in this game is weird, man.
Interesting enough, I actually really like the hit stun in this game. I think the hit stun is easily one of the best decisions they've ever made. In a game with double the races from a previous Mario Kart game, how do you make getting hit not feel as bad? You make the animations, the recovery time, a lot less. And I think that was a genius decision they made. It's one of my favorite parts about Double Dash, because the game is extremely chaotic, but you get hit and you're immediately back in the action. And I think Mario Kart World decided to take a page from that game's book, and I love how it works. And I think it makes the items that hit you that have more hit stun more impactful. The Blue Shell, for example, is a game that gives you massive hit stun. And I think that makes it getting hit by that feel even worse, because that's the point. It's a Blue Shell. So I think the hit stun in this game, I think you notice it especially when you get hit by cars. Getting hit by cars, you tumble once, but you're immediately back in the swing of things. When you get hit by a Nana, you tumble, you stun for a bit longer, but then you keep going. So there's levels to the hit stun, which I think was geniusly designed. Bearing in mind, this guy's played for 2 hours. I just want to reiterate that. I've played this game for like a collective 100 hours. He's played it for 2. What's the 2-hour guy got on me? Let's find out.
Full of damage animations triggered by various obstacles and items. The basic animations are spinning out, which was established back in Super Mario Kart, but ever since Double Dash, they consistently included flipping forward, tumbling over, or blowing up, depending on the type of obstacle. I could get into the specifics of how damage changed throughout the series, but generally speaking, that's how it worked, and each of the dedicated animations were done well and conveyed a sense of impact. In Mario Kart World, this looks amateur, with characters simply bumping into the air, tumbling sideways for a few seconds, then the vehicle unnaturally tweens to face the right way. way. Despite the animation being heavily scripted in previous entries, they ensure that the animation begins and ends with the vehicle having the same orientation. Even if the vehicle appears to overshoot, that's actually a part of the animation in order to avoid that unnatural tweeting. It appears that in Mario Kart World, upon taking damage, your vehicle essentially becomes a physics object for a few seconds. The amount of rotations isn't accounted for, so the game unnaturally corrects your character's orientation. This is absolutely a small detail, but like I said, it just seems amateur compared to the snappy and deliberate animations seen in games prior. And
yeah, I think we can say that Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? What I'm gonna do, chat, is I'm just gonna say you're nitpicking and biased, and I'm gonna skip the way ahead.
Absolute train wreck of Mario Odyssey. I've had my fair
Whoa! What the fuck? Odyssey slander! Hang on, guys. I think we skipped the cutscene. Chat, we skipped the cutscene.
Features of this game is the open world aspect, and there's no beating around the bush here. This was an awful design choice. In my time with the game,
was it something you could say after 2 hours of playing? Do you know the worst part is, chat? I don't think I'm even qualified to make a critique of the open world, even though I've played it for like, I think a collective like 10 hours or so. Like, I feel like I'd have to play a lot more before I made like a thorough critique of that. This guy played it for 2 hours, and that's the whole game. Like, he probably played the free roam for like 20 minutes. Yeah, that's crazy.
I didn't play the free roam at all, not because I...
Yeah, you didn't? So why would you bring it up in this video, Mr. Prestige?
Couldn't, but because I just didn't want to. After the absolute train wreck of Mario Odyssey, I've...
Yeah, someone get this guy.
Oh, what about that? Send him off! Send the drifting gate off! Get him
Yeah, gamers, yeah.
Get him off the field! That's just typical what it is! Get him walking!
Yeah, now, I don't mean to... Listen, when it comes to, like, critics and, like, fans, they tend to be at odds with each other. And yet, strangely enough, this is one of the few times... This is one of the very unequivocally universal time where the critics and the fans both collectively agree that this game was fucking good, right? So, what I'm saying is that if you are going to shit on Odyssey, you have to caveat that at least a little bit. Like, I think it's fair to say you're going to caveat that at least a little bit. When you say the train wreck that is Odyssey, I'm thinking just schizophrenia. Because no train wreck actually happened. Maybe you dream the train wreck. Do you know what, like, I've had those instances, chat, where, like, I dream about something so realistic, I'm genuinely, like, shocked for, like, at least 20 minutes when I wake up. Like, I once had a realistic dream that, like, someone shot me in the head. Like, the mafia found me, they thought they got the wrong guy, and I got shot in the head. And I woke up, like, my head was pounding, I'm just like, that genuinely felt real. It really did feel real. Like, that happened to me once. Maybe that happened to you in regards to this. I don't know. Maybe you thought that was a train wreck. Maybe, like, someone comically tied you to a set of tracks, and you woke up right as the train was passing by. And then, like, someone saved you. Like, Superman saved you, and then the train, like, flipped over. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that might have happened to you. I would say it was just a dream. It didn't actually happen, you know?
I've had my fair share of aimlessly wandering around boring, empty sandboxes, desperately searching for the reason why my purchase wasn't a complete waste of money, and the general consensus seems to agree with me. That being said,
Does it? Does it?
You need to reorient yourself. The sluggish steering will ensure that...
No, does it, though? Guys, I know I've said schizophrenia. I don't think it's a joke anymore. Chat, I actually don't think it's a joke anymore. We're watching the video rendition of someone off his medication. He's off his Profen, chat. He needs to be Profen. He's off his Profen. The voices have been speaking to this man because maybe he got reverse gaslit. This is the guy who gaslit Arlo. Yeah, literally. Am I the general public? He saw the Joseph Anderson video and thought it was everyone. I'm like, no, that was just the Joseph Anderson video. And while this game definitely has its, like, commonly held gripes, like the Too Many Moons thing, or et cetera, the people don't lie. If you're going to say the game critics lie, the people don't lie. Does that make sense? Like, you're in a... No, just okay, you're talking to someone who likes Odyssey, but I definitely don't love it as much as, like, everyone does. I think it was a good game. I really much enjoyed it, but I think I prefer Galaxy. Granted, I've not played it since I first defeated it, so maybe I'm having to have a refined take. But I don't like it nearly as much as everyone else thinks it does. I think it's good, obviously. It's good. It's a good game. So you saying that is insane. And there's nothing the same thing to say.
Start driving past the same locations over and over and over again. And the general consensus seems to agree with me. That being said, I tried Knockout Tour and it was a lot of fun at first, but after only a handful of rallies, you start driving past the same locations over and over and over again, even on different rallies. So while the cohesion of the world is immersive, that doesn't really matter when I've already gotten tired of seeing the same landmarks half an hour ago.
Yeah, this guy's not playing in the Musty lobby and it shows. You need Prestige, you need to play in a Musty. Firstly, this take is just insane. You're obviously someone who doesn't like Battle Royale, which is fine. You kept finishing 20th and it's fine. Don't worry. Listen, it's okay. It's okay, Prestige. You kept finishing 28th and you suck. Hang on. Musty, you're not giving this guy enough shit. Yeah, I'm just gonna... if there's one thing I hate with, like... I'm sorry, do you expect, like, am I your fucking circus monkey and you expect me to, like, yell at people? Is that what you're expecting? Don't ever come to my live chat ever again, okay? Don't ever come to my live chat ever again. I'm as angry as I need to be, all right? I'm as angry as I need to be.
Visual variety of previous games just isn't there, and the simplicity of the roads you drive on just adds to the tedium of it all. The open world doesn't even work on a conceptual level for me, because while I enjoyed being able to see...
Yes, you're allowed to call Prestige slurs for the next 2 minutes. Thanks for letting me off the chain. Thanks for letting me off, gamers. Prestige, finally, Daisy Foxtrot took off the chains. I took off my inhibitor rings, gamers. I just need to say one thing to you, Prestige. You're a damn dirty
various locations from other tracks in Double Dash, the thought of being able to drive there manually did cross my mind, but I never had a desire to do so. Basically, I understood that the tracks you drive on are the actual points of interest, and everything in between isn't accessible because it's just not as interesting. And despite all the technical advancements since then, Mario Kart World managed to confirm a suspicion I had since 2003.
Which is?
Another reservation I had about an open world Mario Kart game is the amount of grass that the world is covered in, which unlike feet, gets slowed down when traversing it. It's the same reason why I don't like Battle Course 1 in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Traveling across all kinds of terrain necessitates an all-terrain vehicle, but if grass doesn't slow you down, then what's stopping you from cutting through?
Interesting that the Nintendo fan hates grass. Interesting, right, chat? Interesting. I'm noticing things, guys. I'm noticing things. He hates grass, guys. He hates grass. It's really adding up, isn't it?
Off-road. Of course, they could have resolved this issue by making the giant tires actually negate the speed loss while in free roam, but nah. Good old gameplay first Nintendo was too busy making up to 3 variations of food items which are functionally identical reskins of mushrooms.
No. Every tier of food item dashes you further. Which is why they're higher tiered. They're not... They send you further depending on which tier of food you have. They're different. They're different than a mushroom. Which is something you would know if you played it for more than 2 hours. Which, if you're wondering, that's the main reason I'm not too angry. I can't get angry at someone who... I'm not going to respect someone with my anger who hasn't respected the game of Mario Kart World. Do you know what I mean? The moment he said he played 2 hours, chat, I abandoned all hope. I'm just here for the fun of it now. I'm literally, guys, I'm gonna lie, I'm literally just here for the Moresty VOD, chat. I'll be real with you. I'm here for the Moresty VOD. The moment he said 2 hours, any part of me that was like analytically like sound or like, let's give this guy the time of it, is gone. Is it because there's wild Pokemon in the grass? No, it's not because of wild Pokemon. There's wild people and he doesn't like people.
I'm going to repeat that. Gameplay first Nintendo created 6...
You don't need to emphasize that. No one cared. No one cared, little bro.
Of the mushroom for the sole purpose of reskinning your character.
Confidently wrong, gamers. Confidently wrong.
Frankly, the dash food is a microcosm of Mario Kart World's problems and likely the game's development as a whole. It's overly detailed in the wrong places, too much effort went into things that ultimately don't matter, you have to grind for cosmetics, it's one of the few things to actually unlock in the game, and the costumes clog up the menus. Like, what isn't wrong with this item?
See, I think it just goes to show, I think it just goes to show he's so boring. I'm not gonna Goomba fallacy, but I won't pretend, chat, I haven't seen these two types of people overlap. Because I 100%, I know, I'm not going to do it because I'm too lazy. But I guarantee if someone went back through Prestige's catalog, I don't know if he's made a lot of videos actually, let me have a look, let me have a quick look. But like, there's a lot of people, I know, and you've seen this, chat. Again, I want to make it clear that I am kind of Goomba fallacying a little bit. I know there's definitely an archetype of people that are upset that Nintendo seems so corporate, so bland, so stuff. So when they make a charming addition to a video game such as the dash food, where they tailor every dash food to the area that it's located. So like in the Mario Bros circuit, you'll get like a burger, like you're in American West. And if you're in like Chi Chi Falls, which is more Japanese, you get more of a Japanese dish. I would say that's actually a very charming addition to the world. And I think it's one of those things that they didn't have to. I think it makes perfect sense. And the people end up criticizing that sort of thing. Does that make sense? I feel like these two people are like, there's an overlap there. You know, I don't think these two people are two slightly different people. You know, I feel like these two people are overlap more than I would like to see. You know, it's the people like unironically using the term friends. Yeah, basically, but 100%. Because like for me, if you're gonna criticize, I would not criticize the Dash food for being very detailed. I would criticize Nintendo for only having 8 rallies in the knockout tour. 8 rallies was not enough. I think we can all agree, chat. Eight rallies was not enough. It was not enough. You needed more rallies. You need a custom rally maker. That's what you needed. You needed us to be able to draw on a map and see. That's what I'm criticizing Nintendo for. I'm not criticizing them from adding a lot of, for adding a bit of like cool world building in a video game. I'm never going to criticize them for that because that's the kind of thing I love in video games. I love when video games do the thing where you didn't have to, but you did. I like the Dash food in that regard. Still should add more rallies than 8 rallies though.
Mario Kart, whole purpose of reskinning your character. Frankly, the Dash food is a microcosm of Mario Kart World's problems and likely the game's development as a whole. It's overly detailed in the wrong places, too much effort went into things that ultimately don't matter.
Like, because like when he says too much effort went into things that ultimately matter, I guarantee there's something about a Nintendo game he's played that he really finds quite charming. And I would look at it and go, they didn't need to do that. What do you mean? It's overly detailed in somewhere where it didn't matter. Do you see what I mean? Like, that's the thing. That's the thing that I don't like about that statement. Is that it makes the implication that Prestige as a person only likes it when video games are as efficient as possible. I guarantee you everyone right now in this chat, even if you don't think about it off the top of your head, can think of something where the devs didn't have to, but it's really nice that they did, right? If you're asking me off the top of my head right now, Superstar Saga, Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. For some reason, they didn't have to, but they remade, I think in all the advanced games they did this, but they remade a GBA version of the original Mario Bros. Game. They didn't need to do that. They didn't need to do that in the slightest. I just think it's really neat that you got to play like the original 1983 Mario Bros. On the GBA. And it was my first time ever playing that game. I think I got up to phase 70 when I was a kid. My thinking of Superstar Saga is completely independent of that Mario Bros. Minigame. But I like that they added it. It was pretty cool. You know, I like that they added it to all the advanced games. I would say that's something where now somebody might look at that and say, oh, it's overly detailed in a place where it don't matter. But like, I just thought it was very charming. And I'm almost certain that you, Prestige, have something that's like that. And I would say the Dash food definitely fits into the charming category where they didn't have to, but they did, you know? Multiplayer advantage too. Yeah, exactly. Any game that lets you pet the dogs. Oh, Cerberus and Hades, that's perfect. They didn't need to add that. You could make the argument that was overly detailed in places where it didn't matter, but I wouldn't say that. I would say that's what makes video games. In Smash, Alucard can't spawn on the Wii Fit stage because it has a mirror. An amazing example, you know what I mean? The DLC in RE2, Little Nightmares 1, 2 versus 3. The former had environmental storytelling with hidden rooms that barely anyone would find, and yet 3 doesn't do that. Exactly, the charm that you didn't have to do, but they did it, you know? Pauling singing on DK's back. Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think that was a really charming addition too. So I guarantee you Prestige has one of these, but he just won't admit it because he wants to make a video shitting on this. I don't know. Sad. Very sad, really.
You have to grind for cosmetics. It's one of the few things to actually unlock in the game, and the costumes clog up the menus. Like, what isn't wrong with this item? Then, on the development side, I could only imagine how poor the management must have been for this project to wind up with all these highly detailed food items for a racing game that lacks basic features which were present in past entries. Think of all the time and money that went into modeling each and every food item that didn't go towards a better free roam experience, more tracks, a story mode, or really any new features. It's true that modeling and programming are two different skill sets.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, like, because like fucking Takashi over in the fucking art department is going to make a difference as to whether they have like a knockout tour maker, right? I was going to say that, but hey, he already pointed out for me.
But you have to understand that somebody got hired to make these food models instead of hiring a different person to make more tracks or code new modes. While I could go into detail about how Nintendo can fix the game, I'm past the point of making suggestions because a kart racer is a solved genre already. They don't need me to remind them what features a game like this should have. And
but you're not... Oh no, gamers. Holy shit. He's an idiot. Guys, he's an idiot. He thinks this video is gonna... He thinks Nintendo are gonna see this video. No, you're making this video for us. So wouldn't it be nice if you used your indie dev nous to tell us what they could have made instead? But instead, you're not saying it because you don't want to waste Nintendo's time. Brother, Miyamoto's on vacation, bro. He is never seeing your video as long as you live. What? That just got... I think it's statements like that, chat. It's statements like that. I think Nintendo did it earlier when we watched Nintendo. It's statements like that really give you an insight into someone's brain chemistry. Because you can watch every single video I've ever made on Moresty. There is no statement that makes it indirectly makes any sort of indirect implication that I'm not doing what I'm doing. I'm just making relatively harmless React content. I mean, obviously, it's subjective. Harm is subjective in a sense. I'm making relatively harmless React content for my audience and for anyone that finds me entertaining. That's all I'm doing. I'm not here to change the world. I'm not here to make anyone's life better or worse. I just do what I do. If anyone finds any value in it, feel free to watch me. If you don't, yeah, I mean, there's a fucking whole load of content out there. Go on, Scott the Woz, bro. He's way better than I am. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's all I am. You're never gonna find any. You're never. I would honestly, I would urge you to find one so I could delete off the fucking internet of any video where I imply in anything other than just an entertainment man on your phone screen or in your pocket as you're doing your work shift right now. If you are, you're working hard. Okay, you're working hard and hardly working. But this guy's like, oh, I don't want to waste your time because Nintendo aren't going to see this. Nintendo aren't watching this video. They're never watching this video. That's the most embarrassing part about this video. Not the fact that you spent 2 hours and to critique this game for 23 hours, and when the video was underperforming, you changed the title just to make sure it got more views. That's not the embarrassing bit. And forget about any of that. The embarrassing bit is that your Nintendo was going to watch this. Miyamoto doesn't know who you are, little bro. Let's be real here. Jesus Christ.
The audacity for a company of their size to release a game in this state is a clear-cut sign to me that they just don't care anymore.
No,
so I'd rather
care.
just play a different game by developers who do care, or even just make one myself. I know that I couldn't
even just make one myself! Oh my god! He's huffing his own farts! Holy shit! Bruv, you have made nothing worth playing. I guarantee that right now. Because do you know how I know that? Do you know how I know that? The kinds of people who have made something worth playing don't talk about video games like this. When was the last time, chat, you heard Toby Fox talk about Undertale like this? You have because he doesn't think of him because he's not an ego fucking maniac. Because most people that make some of the most accomplished games ever made aren't egomaniacs. They're not. They're just people who have a lot of passion. Sakurai is the best example, bro. Have you seen this man talk about video games? This man just fucking loves video games. I don't know if you understand it. Sakurai loves video games. This man will yap to you about video games for hours. He made a whole YouTube channel just so he could talk about the process of making video games and how he makes video games. And you're sitting there like, ooh, ooh wee. I can make a better game than it. Ooh wee. Your video game's gonna suck, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? Don't ever make it. You have a hidden talent. Keep it hidden for the love of all that is holy. Keep it. Let Team Cherry do the cherry pick it. Let Team Cherry do the real work, okay? Let all these other devs do the real work, okay? I don't want to bring any real life devs into this because I don't want to sully their name. Let the kings of the industry do their thing, okay? Don't ever put yourself in anywhere near him, okay? Board up the kitchen walls. Do not let this man enter. Don't dead open inside. Chad, don't dead open inside. Don't dead open inside. Glad to be a part of this corner of the internet. Thank you so much, Splat Cooper. This community wouldn't be the same without you, man. Much appreciated.
Better in terms of sheer production value, but I'm confident that I could make a kart racer that I'd rather play. And I hate it.
I'm sorry. Oh, you know me, Chad. I don't handle smug. I can't handle smug. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, bro. Oh my god. He thinks he's him. That's the most embarrassing part, brother. You're not him, bro. Your pronouns might be he, but you're not him, okay? You're not him, bro. And for this attitude, I'm gonna be real with you. Listen, I'm not gonna pretend there's never a reality where you could be him. With this fucking attitude, you are light years away, brother. You're light years away from facing Brock. And even though light years doesn't measure time, it measures distance, you know exactly what I mean, okay? You're light years away, brother.
Because Mario Kart has been a heavy inspiration for my own project, and to see them fumble so hard has been, okay, unsurprising, let's be honest, but still no less disappointing. Do I have a desire to play this game again? Sure. But no more than I'd want to play the arcade titles. And I think that's a good way to put it. It's a game where—
It's the next Pirate Software. Hey, brother, show us what you've been making. Fucking Heartbound 2, yeah? Heartbound 2. Like, I'll be real with you, this whole video was just like, the reason I skipped ahead is because I'm just like, this is boring. I don't really want to. I'm not going to take the opinions of someone seriously who's only played a video game for 2 hours. Like, the worst part is, hang on, that makes it. Chat, think about it for 2 seconds. Imagine if someone made a video about your video game after playing it for 2 hours. Oh my god! Chat, just imagine that for a second. This guy wants to be an indie dev. This guy wants to be an indie dev, chat. Imagine for a second if somebody made a video. How pissed would you be? You'd be fucking fuming. Like, you'd be like, what the hell? What the hell is going on? Now, luckily, Nintendo's Nintendo. They don't give a shit about you or me or anyone on this platform. But like, I imagine if I took one of the devs, I'm like, hey, yo, hey, broski, have a look at this dipshit. I'm like, who's this guy talking about? You're gonna play the game for 2 hours. Why'd you show me this shit? Fuck you, you know what I mean? And the same, that's probably how you'd feel if someone played your game for 2 hours and made a shit review. You get 90-30s work whistle language, you know what I mean? Fucking terrible, bro. If anything, this video does a massive disservice to the industry you want to be a part of. That's the worst bit. Because, like, with me, I would say one of the things I've had people ask me, both in private and public, is, Moresty, are you aware that, like, the content you make makes it probably harder for people to be friends with you? And I'm just like, the kind of person that will take any of my videos as, like, really, like, to the heart, are probably the kinds of people I didn't want to be friends with anyway. Like, I'm kind of okay. I'm not, like, hurting for friends. And if someone took one of my, like, you know, chicanerous critiques as my earnest opinion on them, I don't know if I'd want to be their friend, if I'm going to be honest. But, like, when you're making a video, like, about another video, a fellow game company, right? So obviously, ideally, you want to make your own company at some point. Criticizing the game after 2 hours, shitting on a bunch of things without any substantial evidence, you would not want that. Absolutely, you would not want that. 100% you wouldn't want that. And like, obviously, this is the part where you say, oh, but it's Nintendo. Oh, because you're punching up, it makes no difference? No, in principle, that's a disrespectful thing to do, right? Like, for example, let's say, like, I really earnestly wanted to be like, oh, it's the reason why, like, for example, probably the reaction where, like, I went into it wanted to be as nice as possible is the King K one. I thought his Sword and Shield video was genuinely, like, subpar. But this is a guy whose content I've enjoyed thoroughly for, like, months, if not years. And he made a subpar retrospective of Sword and Shield. That was probably, like, because I, at some point, would love to have a conversation. Because I'm like, listen, I think this video is just a bit of a stinker, right? But with every other video, I'm just kind of like, it is what it is, it is what it is, it is what it is, right? So for you to have this flippant attitude about an industry you genuinely want to be a part of someday is crazy. I never want to be like, if you told me the videos I make would never make me a part of the Nintendo community, would never make me blow up, I don't care. But I'm assuming at some point you want to be someone in the industry. You want to be something, right? You at least want to make this a living. You at least want to be successful in this. So why would you punch up just so you can get on a platform? That makes no sense. That genuinely makes no sense, does it? Like, I don't care if I don't ever become a face of, like, Nintendo YouTube or anything like that. I just make videos because they're fun, bro. But, like, ideally, you're making games because, like, you want to be more than just, like, some scrunkly bunkly. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe your ambitions are just that fucking low. For me, it's more so I kind of have real life things I care about more. But, like, if you're being an indie dev, surely you want to make art that changes the world, right? I don't know, man. It's something to think about, I guess. I don't know. Like, I hope you've had pause for thought at least. I don't fucking know what to tell you. Because it just seems very counterintuitive for your ultimate goal in the end, you know what I mean? This type of ridiculous, unprofessional behavior isn't going to let this game strong, solid networking opportunities that can promote its game further. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't get it. And like, if he says he doesn't care, it's like, no, but you do though. Like, you 100% you do. Like, you have to. Like, I think you kind of have to if you want to be any sort of respectable indie dev. But like, again, obviously you point to me saying, oh, but what about your stuff? And it's like, well, I don't care if I'm not a respected Nintendo YouTube or whatever it is. I don't care about that. Like, that is independent of the fun I have with the content I make. But you should care though. Like, this is an industry you want it to be better, right? Like, if he doesn't care, you should. Yeah, it behooves him to care. Like, you couldn't even make the argument that behooves me to care. I would just say, I'm sorry, I don't. That's the argument I would tell you. But like, it behooves you to care if you want this industry to be better with the art you put out there in the world. I don't know what to tell you. Frankly, I'm a little embarrassed now. Someone said I wasn't angry before. I'm not even angry. I'm kind of embarrassed for him now. I'll be real with you. Now that I think about it, I'm just like, what an embarrassing video to put out. You shitting on your fellow developers just because it's popular to do on the internet? Yeah, sure. Okay.
Playing, but not worth owning. There's a joke for game key cards in there somewhere. Overall, Mario Kart World is half-baked Mario Kart in a quarter-baked open world, and Nintendo can definitely do better. But those are my thoughts on the game so far, and I'd like to hear yours. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave a like.
Yeah, brother, I enjoyed laughing at you. That's why I did. Jesus Christ. I think, like, now, while there will be people in my community that will say there were worse videos I think this is genuinely pound for pound the worst video I've watched in my entirety. I know I've said that almost every time I watch a bad video, but like, on principle, like, firstly, as a video, This is just poorly presented. You had point after point after point after point that you did not substantiate whatsoever. Your initial premise was already on shaky ground because you played a game for 2 hours and tried to make a comprehensive review. And then even if you go by the principle of it all, you as a game developer who wants to get into the industry decided to punch up at a developer just because it's a popular thing to do. Like, how extremely disrespectful to your fellow developers to do that. And obviously, again, there's the point where you say, but it's Nintendo, though. Yeah, but that's not the point, though. You are never going to catch me, chat, making a video about, like, my fellow content creator just because, oh, but they're a big YouTuber, though. Like, whenever I've said anything about any YouTuber, you know for sure I believe that, 100%. 100% you believe that. But obviously Prestige can say, well, I believe in what I'm saying in this video. The fact that you made this after 2 hours is genuinely shoddy. Like, there was no point to you making this video. There's genuinely no point to you. What it behooved you to do was to borrow your friend's Switch, maybe play more, and then you could have a more refined take on it. If you came to the same conclusions having played more, that would have been a bit more reasonable. But like, there was genuinely no reason for this video to exist. And I would say, honestly, if you plan to get into the industry someday, this would easily be a black mark on your record that you'd ideally want to sweep under the rug. Honestly, I think if you're asking me, it's embarrassing. I wouldn't hire this guy for any job I had. I don't think anyone should. I don't think anyone should take any game he makes seriously if this is the kind of content he's going to make about his fellow video games. Honestly, yeah, this is one of the worst put together videos I've seen. Yeah, literally, 100%. Like that Critical Error podcast probably had like lower lows, but like this is consistently one of the worst videos I've ever seen. Truly terrible stuff, and I think you should consider taking this video down if anything else. Well, let's see what the comments have to say about it. Maybe the comments will be on our side, maybe they'll be on theirs. But either way, let's go Dark Gamers. Be sure to, oh my god, look at this fucking guy. Be sure to hype up this video to push it into the algorithm. Fucking shameless, bro. I appreciate your thoughts. I'm asking a lot of, yeah, I don't care, bro. I'll be honest, I don't care. Literally algo slop. Imagine someone algo slopped your video game. Fuck my life, bro. Embarrassing. Nintendo seriously got the car racing. What if we made players play Desert Bus between races? That's so true. Oh my god, it's so true, guys. He owned him. Guys, he owned him with facts and logic. Guys, he owned him. Nintendo must have considered Todd Howell for this game. It's 4 times the size, 16 times the detail, and half the fun. Yeah, nice one. Nice one, bro. A lot of Mario Kart World's decision screen. We need to make it look different, better from 8. Visual-wise, you can't really see it looks much better than 8 with Mario's art style. I would disagree. So they overtuned the animations, slapped the open world and said, see, Wii U Switch couldn't do this. Buy a new system. I wouldn't think about it that way. Even if I do think the free roam is not as in-depth as I would like, I don't think I would. Interesting. It's pretty much the definition. The ideas are there, but the extras are terrible. Except in this case, Nintendo would keep doubling down on then a bit. To me, it's more like the ideas were there, but we're Nintendo, so we don't care. I also view every patch where they decide not to make a dedicated free lap courses as them continue not to double down on their terrible idea. You just don't know how online games work. Good one, buddy. Watching a star being used in a no position gain is all I needed to see. Crazy. What, by driving? Yeah, sorry about that. That was my first time playing the game. Yeah, maybe you should have played it more then. Yeah, terrible. Terrible all around. Reddit. I love the brutally honest review. iPhone did not get. Wow! Shocker! Wow, gamers, look at this. Look at this, chat. I love the review. I didn't get the Switch. Wow, so you watched the video for confirmation bias and you hired that. Wow, amazing. Amazing stuff. Somebody wanted to watch your video shitting on a game to confirm their bias, and you be endorsed. Crazy behavior, huh? I'm voting with my wallet. Amazing stuff. So why did you feel the need to leave a comment then? If you're voting with your wallet, you're voting with your wallet, right? Who are you convincing with this comment? Me or yourself? So bad, it's $80. You know, there's 20. This is a $20 indie title. Yeah, this guy's like, I'm gonna join the stream. I got just listen, Jonathan. I'll be real with you. Just go, bro. You don't have to announce your. This ain't an airport, bro. Just go. Just fucking go. I hate you types of people in my chat. Musty, this is so draining. Leave, bro. Jesus Christ, come back later. Come back later when I'm doing something different. Come back later, man. If you don't like the topic of the stream, just go for a bit and come back later, okay? Jesus Christ. I hate when people say that. Just go for a bit, okay? Leave me alone. I like this. I'm having fun. We say it's draining. I'm having a lot of fun, okay? Oh my god. It's really is like Mario Kart 8 all over again. It's an okay serviceable game, that's literally it. It's not memorable in the slightest. I give 70 a pass because a $30 handheld with new mechanics that didn't ruin the whole experience. Definitely outclassed by Deluxe, but the new music and yeah, crazy. Of course you'd give it a pass, right? I need to feel something. I need to feel something, gamers. Yeah, this comment section is fucking smelly, bro. Fucking stinks. Fucking stinks, man, I'm telling you. I'm gonna pirate it whenever I switch to emulator drops. Endorsing piracy. Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. This is interesting. My guy, you're an indie dev. I'm looking at your channel. I can't find a single video about you having worked on anything on... Oh, gamers. Someone did the research for us. Oh, no. It's mostly just anti-Nintendo grift videos. I'm going to assume at best and say you have already a separate channel for that. Or you just don't want to. With that being said, considering the original title for your video was something along the lines of an indie dev's opinion on Mario Kart World, this feels like something you should have evidence for, especially with some of your points in the video, most nitpicky complaints I have ever heard. What do you have to say to that, Mr. Prestige? I think I saw a small clip of the game I'm working on. It's been stripped down to keep it vague. What are post about the games you're working on so you can just dislike the video and leave through Oh my god. Oh my god. So you're not gonna talk about the games you're making because of the people on the line. Good grief. Why is Prestige Blue like this? Is he stupid? Who is this guy? Could someone pick up their man, please? Good lord. And what would it matter if I was working on Mario Kart or Action Cars Racing 2? You were just gonna dislike the video anyway. Gamers, this is literal visual proof that Prestige Blue does not even trust Prestige Blue. Because chat, let's say for example you watched my Sonic Racing Crossworlds video, my latest video on the channel, right? And you said you didn't like it or the points I made weren't bad. I'm never gonna look at that comment and go, you were just gonna dislike it anyway. I felt like my points were pretty well presented. If you disagree, then you have a chance to present your counterpoints. But you saying this is you just admitting you had no backbone behind your take anyway. That's basically indirectly what you're admitting. Because what you should have said was, why would it matter? I made my points just fine in the video. You didn't watch the video. No, you were gonna dislike it anyway. That's what you would say if you were confident in your opinion. I think I'm quite confident in my Sonic Racing Crossworlds take. I think my overall thesis was, I think the killer moniker is a bit like arbitrary. Well, I think it stands on its own two toes. Is he stupid? I think he might be. Honestly. Comparing the music is so cringe. It's so banger. True. The music is good. When they play it out of context, it's distracting. Like I said, I'm not forward to playing them on a saxophone later. Oh, boo-hoo, nigga! Boo-hoo! Where? I can't do my best Insane in the Rain impression. Oh, boo-hoo! Boo-hoo! Yeah, fucking boo-hoo, little bro. Boo fucking hoo. Wow. Jesus Christ. I just got my Switch 2 yesterday. I've been heavily debating on whether I should buy one or not. Gonna take this as a recommendation for me as a sign. Bearing in mind, if you start with Knockout Tour, from what you're seeing on the screen, it was the first fan of the races. And yes, we're playing at the highest speed. Crazy. Love watching your vids. Keep being funny. See, Prestige, have you ever had anyone say that? Have you ever had anyone say that to you? Bet you haven't. Little bro. Bet you haven't. Unbelievable. I mean, considering you call Bud BZ4D the Nintendo killer, I don't trust him. Hang on. There's no way. There's actually no fucking way. The end of Nintendo.
Hey, I'm a fucking word within that red.
Yeah, this guy's like clapped. Chat, this guy ibuprofen. This guy's clapped. Gamers. There's some gray matter in his brain that's been cooked. I'm sorry, man. He's gone. That entire section. What? Misery loves company. Hey, literally. Go in comment. Misery loves Decisive Dolphin. The most decisive Give this person a true. Unbelievably, go in comment. That entire section. What a load of nonsense. I agree. Who writes this stuff? Yeah. Good one, mate. Hop on Sonic Crossworlds. Oh my god. Hop on Sonic Crossworlds. Fucking boring. You didn't mention non-races. We don't care. True. I don't care that you don't care. I just care about the Dr. Theo profile pic. Nice. The cope. The cope gamers. The fucking cope. I like your profile pic. Your profile pic is pretty nice. I actually really like your profile pic. I don't think you can make it. Oh my god, Jean-Paul Gaultier. Oh my god, Jean-Paul. Oh, voulez-vous français? My favorite guy ever made. I don't think you can make a good review based on 2 hours of gameplay. Twitch Prestige says. This is a full review. This is just my hands-on impression. I'm tired of pretending it's not. Dude, it makes it sound like you've played for longer than you actually have. Wow. It's almost like you didn't put first impressions in your title because that would kill it in the algorithm. Because that'd make people less likely to click. Because people like looking at comprehensive stuff and not first impressions typically. It's almost like that's what you've leaned into. Oh my god, algo maxing, gamers. Algo maxing. I agree with a lot of the general grievances going, holy shit, you sound like such a whiny loser that you make me want to defend a game just not to be associated with it. It's the Homelander gif. Gamers, the Homelander gif is generational. When someone says something you agree with, but they said it in something obnoxious way, you can't help but disagree. And it's a gif of Homelander just going like, generational gif, gamers. Giving critique and sharing your considered is considered whining now. Minus spelling mistake. Minus spelling mistake, gamers. You lose, brother. You lose. You lose. Ren must be due. Not sure what that's supposed to mean. No, we know what that's mean. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean. Fuck off. This game got out 4 months ago and I'm covering a game on my own terms. It's not like I rushed to get the video. Oh. I'm not like those guys. It's literally an Nintendine thing. I'm not like those grifters. So I'm better than them. But it's like, yeah, but you're a grifter soft 8. Oh, I'm not like those reviewers. Yeah, but you're like just as bad. What are you talking? You're like even, I would say you're even worse. Like Nathaniel Bandy made a course ranking like within days of the game coming out, and it was a shoddy video to say the least. But I'd happily take that over this shit. Like, you kidding me? By the way, I'm buying a house so I don't pay my house. Stop poor shaming. Wow! Oh man, not only is he just coping, but he's that one friend that's too woke. Everyone knows that when you say rent must be due, you're saying as in like you made this video just for the money. That's what everyone means. It's just a bit of fun slander, and you're being a bit too woke. Unbelievable. Woke maxing downward. Unbelievable. Any dev's perspective is still calling about music literacy. No offense, but I came here for any dev's perspective, not on the game, not its soundtrack. I don't like the game, by the way. I just don't find your subjective analysis of the music compelling at all. At least not nearly as much as you do as I like analysis of actual game design. It's almost like you should stay in your lane. To which, again, bearing in mind, he's replying to all of these bad comments as well. Oh my god. This guy is coping. He's coping so hard, man. You just answered your questions to why my analysis of the music wasn't as good. I'm more of a developer than a musician. Yeah, then why the fuck would you talk about it then? I know that, like, if I'm making a review about something, I want to make it clear, yeah, I don't really know much about this, so I'm just going to not talk about it. And I'll leave it at that. That said, I consider music to be an important factor of the game's enjoyment. Particularly important in this instance because I actually detract from my enjoyment, so I thought it was worth pointing out. Yeah, your ears aren't right, brother. Your ears don't work. Terrible seems a bit of a stretch. It's alright, 7 out of 10. But, ... it's an $80 entry to a long-serve franchise. Why are you guys laughing at me? It's $80. It's $80. Yeah. The context of which this game releasing drags it down from like a 7 to like a 7 to a 3? It's a little crazy. You can say that I'm overreacting, but I argued that people are underreacting. No, the internet reacted correctly. I think the internet was correctly reacting. And when people were saying like $80, people literally brigaded the fucking Nintendo Treehouse stream and said drop the price, drop the price. The hashtag was trending for like a couple days. I think people correctly reacted. It's just I think there should have been some action afterwards that obviously wasn't going to happen. But no, I would say people correctly reacted if you ask me. I was going to buy a Switch 2 either way, so I'm not adding to the cost of the system. It came on my Switch store, and me and my kids had fun with it. I'm definitely not saying it's amazing, but I can understand why it could be considered terrible, but you're entitled to your opinion. And this person was kind. This person's just a working parent as well. This person was a working parent. And you ruined their day with this dog shit video. Imagine that. They're raising the next generation on Skibbity Toilet and AI fruit memes. And you just ruined their day. Good job. Good job, Dreaming. Good job. The colors look faded to me. Not very bright or cheerful. I see a lot of the music in Mario Kart World is generic MIDI music. Yeah, both could. You should... Oh, man. Oh, firstly, there is. You just click don't recommend channel. But that's if I ever got this comment, I'd be like, yeah, I'm cooked. Or you can just not comment on videos they don't like. That'll make YouTube stop recommending them to you. Cope. He's coping, gamers. He's coping. Cope. Are there no more copes? I don't even like the... Oh, more copes, gamers. I'm here for the copes. Yeah, I'd have to retire. Literally, I'd have to retire, honestly. I've got to... Like, I'm sure empathetic gamer, you can agree, right? You've got some mean comments in your day. But, like, when someone goes, like, bro, I need to tell YouTube to not recommend me shit, I'd be cooked, man. I'm gone. I'm reconsidering my whole life. If someone went, damn, you shouldn't really stop recommending me this channel. I'm like, fucking hell, bro. I'm cooked. I'm fish filleted, man. I don't like this game either, but you're such a tryhard. Some of your critiques make sense, but half the time it's rambling, incoherent nonsense. You played the game for a couple of hours, dude. Don't go make a video talking about random features of a game that are like obvious, and talk about like the obvious game design flaws. Chill a little bit. True. Honestly, very, very, very true. I'm really not trying that hard. I think you kind of are trying hard. These are just observations I made when playing games because I'm always subconsciously looking for other things to consider when designing my own games. Oh, wow. Oh, man. It's all about me, gamers. I'm always doing this because I'm an indie dev. So I'm always looking at it from an indie dev's perspective. Imagine if I talked about my shit this way. Chat, imagine for a second, gamers, if I talked about my shit this way. Because, yeah, I do think there's a lot of intricacies behind live streaming that might go, like, fall on deaf ears to the average viewer. I don't want to talk about it because that's not what you're fucking here for. You just want to see the funny British man talk about the funny British things, you know? Oh, Greg's, am I right? Oh, I fucking love Arsenal. Fuck Man U. Also, this video was very gamers. Like and subscribe. Thanks for the super chat, guys. That promoted me to the head of the Royal Guard. That's what you're here for, okay? He thinks he's Jose Mourinho. He's more of a Steve Bruce. Literally. Oh, my God. And are you sure that I was being incorrect? No, you were. Like, you were like, when people say you're incoherent, you're not incoherent in the literal sense. Like, you're speaking English, you're very clear with your English. What it was that normally when people have points in their video, like, oh my, like, fuck my life, bro. Like, Prestige, listen, stick to indie devs, bro. I know this better than you. I literally made a video myself doing this thing the way you should have done it. Wow, I made a video that is available, by the way, YouTube. Stop lying to me.
Sonic, we need to talk.
Lately, you've been punching about Sonic Racing Crossworlds and like the discourse around Mario Kart. I gave my first impressions and I gave my opinions. And what did I use, gamers? Wow, I used examples. I used examples to back up my thesis. I talked about XDefiant. I talked about Call of Duty. I talked about Fortnite. What did that have to do with Sonic Racing Crossworlds? I made it all link back together to make my argument a lot more salient. Because that's what you do in a YouTube video. It's literally English. I was taught this. I was taught this in year 10 English. Which for you Americans, I was 14 years old when they taught this to me. Basically a whole lifetime ago. Which is point, evidence, explanation. You make your point, you provide your evidence, and you explain your evidence and connect it all together. That's the whole thesis I went through that entire video of. I think I made some decent points. You know? I made some decent points in that video. None of which you did in this dog shit of a video, I'm gonna be honest. Nothing. I was taught this when I was 14, bro. And I've been implementing it in my life ever since. Because when I have a point, I'm not sure if the other people watching are gonna understand what I think. But I can use examples to link it all together again. You literally learn this stuff when you're in school, man. It's actually so embarrassing. It's genuinely so, the more I think about it, chat, the more embarrassed I am. Because I'm just like, I learned this when I was in school, bro. A whole lifetime ago, chat. Fuck my life, man. Like you just be talking. He was just saying shit without any sort of rhyme or reason, which is the opposite of what you're supposed to do. Shy X Defiant. It was a solid shooter that I played for like a month. Claim, evidence, response, intro paragraph, free bodies paragraph, conclusion paragraph, counterclaims, rebuttals, and much more. Wow. Hey, FNAF on fire. Do you want to teach this guy? Fucking unbelievable. Or just able to understand. And then he turns on them. Look at this egomaniac chat. I should have been incoherent, or you just need to understand what I'm talking about. No, you make dog shit points that you refuse to give evidence or adequate explanations to. You failed to prove your thesis. What is with the ego? You've never made a game in your life, and you're egoing, Batman. You're egoing. I don't know what to say, chat. I don't know what to say. The more I talk about this guy, the more embarrassed I am. This is a grown-ass man, bro. If not, that's not a problem. I can explain any part of the video you want in more detail. If anything, that just means your video was a failure of a video then. If you're having to explain your video in the comments more than the video could speak for itself, that was a failure of a YouTube video. Now, there are times where I've had to clarify certain points I've made in the comments, but if more than often not, if loads of people are asking for clarifications, I don't understand this, I don't understand that, then maybe you should reconsider the whole video you've made. Like, the odd comment, sure, but I'm seeing a bunch of comments with that sort of thing. The petal method, literally, oh my god, the petal method. For me, it was the P method, point, evidence, explanation. That's what it was when I was in school. Which is funny because it's obviously P, and I'm 14 years old, so I think that's the funniest thing ever made. Lastly, what do you expect me to do? Share other people's opinions on my own channel? I'm highlighting aspects of the game that stood out to me. The fact that I brought up certain aspects that other people had talked about, is because other people hadn't talked about. Surely you haven't seen other breakdowns about the hit stun animation and games differs from previous entries, and that's why I brought it up. So you brought up a point because it wasn't mentioned in other videos, as opposed to making your point as salient as possible. So again, he talked about it because I've not seen other people talk about it. No, you talk about something because you genuinely think it makes your point better. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, brother. Cooked. Yeah. We need to get this guy. Real. Yeah, I think, I'm just here for the cooking, I'll be real with you. I'm tired, boss. I don't worry, it's over. We're good now. We're cooked now. So closing thoughts. I pretty much said it at the end of the video, but it bears reiterating, I suppose. If we're talking in terms of, my overall opinion on the video, I think this is easily the worst video I've ever covered, right? Because at the very least, when Critical Error, the podcast of Critical Error, was talking about some very strange things, I don't think that the two hosts are particularly bad people in the slightest, if that makes sense, right? I think they were just two guys that were just kind of, high on their own supply, and I think they're both fine people otherwise, right? Even when it comes to a talking sock or Backseat Sakurai, I feel like they made salient enough points where I'm like, okay, fair. You know what I mean? Even if I don't think their content is anything to write home about, to put it mildly. But I think there was barely, if any, considering you're someone who wants to get into the industry as a whole, this video had literally zero redeeming qualities from a viewer perspective and on the principled stance. This video fails on every aspect. It's genuinely comical. Not only did you not present your points very well, you also decided to punch at your fellow game dev for no apparent reason. Again, just imagine if you made a game and someone spent 20 minutes shit on it because they played it for 2 hours. You would not like that. You absolutely wouldn't like that. And you'd say you don't care. But I guarantee if I did that, if any big YouTuber did that, you'd fucking hate them for it. And rightfully, of course you should hate them for it. Every time someone makes a flippant analysis of my work, I'm always a bit upset. Obviously, I don't care. It's just people on the internet. People will be typing stuff. But if someone I cared about made some sort of flippant disregard of my work, I'd be upset about that. Of course I would. Of course I would. Are you joking me? In the same way, I don't think it behooves you not to do that because it's an industry that you apparently love and apparently want to get into. So I would say easily one of the worst videos ever made. I think the fact that you changed the title to get more views and to make it work in the algorithm shows where your head is. Your head is not at, I want to make good videos for the algorithm, or I want to make good videos to show people my philosophy on game design. Your videos are literally just, I'm going to shit on Nintendo therefore, which I think when the dust settles and it's no longer cool to shit on Nintendo, I would say this is probably gonna ring hollow. That's what's gonna happen. You're gonna look back at your catalog and realize that you made nothing worth standing on top of, which is just sad, really. It's gonna happen. Like you say, it's not gonna happen, and I'm coping. But there's a thing called trolls remorse. When people end up making their whole entire content shitting on people. It happens loads of times. iDubbbz is the perfect example of this. If you want to look into iDubbbz, when you make your entire body of work shitting on things, there comes a point when you look back and realize you've done nothing but lay waste onto other people, and you start feeling remorseful. Arlo's another good example as well. His older content was just shitting on the Paper Mario situation, and now I think he's kind of like overcorrected the other way because I think he has a sense of trolls and remorse. I think that's what's going to end up happening to you unless you like steer the other way and start making content about things that you're passionate about, as opposed to things that you just want to shit on. It's the reason why, for example, on my channel, I make financial chicanery videos because I know I don't want to fall in that. I know when I look back on my catalog of videos, you could probably make Moresty, you shit on so many people. But I also like found the retro sofa. I found Jonathan Cartwright. I found Beast MD. I found Empathetic Gamer. I found so many YouTubers that I'm like, what? These guys are fucking brilliant. I want to watch more. I've subscribed to them on my own browsing channel, so like I can say that I've done my fair share of both. The thing is, can you? Yeah, because March was another amazing example too. Yeah, like so. Yeah, shit. Sit in the corner and think about what you've done, and we'll leave it there.